Welcome to the Sisters Uncensored podcast, where we get into everything from childhood trauma to millennial adulting and all things in between.
We share crazy stories from the past and present to help us cope with the insanity that is our lives.
By sharing our perspectives, we hope to bring some relatability, laughter, and unsolicited advice that can help you survive the messiness of life along with us.
My name's Jessica Labita. I'm a millennial mom, wife, and marketing professional, and I am absolutely insane.
My name is Ashley Leneve. I am a millennial stay-at-home mom, avid golfer, and too mouthy for my own good.
We are real sisters, and this is Sisters Uncensored. Take this trip with us. What's up, guys? Welcome to Sisters Uncensored. We are here today with Jen DeMaio and Christinna Del Genio from Face Aesthetic Artistry and Face Aesthetic Institute. And we're going to talk all about fillers and how things can go wrong if you are not using the right people. And so we've had some interesting experiences ourselves, but fortunately have been with these wonderful ladies for many, many years. And so really wanted to take the time to just educate people on what you need to know when you're going to see someone, to get fillers, to get Botox, all the things, because it is not as simple as you think.
It's definitely not. And plus all these little like med spas keep popping up everywhere. It kind of makes me super nervous.
You just took a
should
deep
be
breath.
nervous.
Like,
Yeah. Jen and I literally just took, we were like,
yeah.
just took a deep breath when
Buyer
you said that.
beware.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a little scary. I don't know. I guess anybody can just do that now. I don't
If
understand.
you have a medical license, there's no certification or specific training. And that's why we're doing the Institute, to educate providers on how to safely and effectively inject. But to the layperson, as a consumer, you don't know, right? You're like, okay, this one's a doctor, a nurse practitioner, a PA, an RN. They must know what they're doing.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily true. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a thing.
Right. For example, somebody that specializes in a field, let's say a doctor goes to med school, they have to pick residency in a field, right? So they have to specialize and study that field for years and years and years. We don't have that in aesthetics. So somebody that comes into aesthetics, there's nobody holding them to a standard saying you have to do this training or you have to get this certification. If you have a medical license, you can do it. It's up to you, though, to do the education.
And put the work in.
And put the work in, which is why we are so we're very passionate about injectors, people coming into our field, getting the proper education, because if not, they are treating patients maybe not right, and that's a problem.
And then filler gets a bad name, or Botox gets a bad name, and it's not the stuff. And I always explain in Ash that, like, is it the surgeon or is it the suture? Right? We don't blame the stuff. We have to say who's doing it.
Yep.
Listen,
So
I'm all for, I get it.
So that's one of the things I want to talk about is why do fillers get a bad name, would you say?
It's the way that they're placed. It's either too much, the person that's doing it doesn't know how to do it correctly, which, they can. It just...
Yes, it's technique, too.
It's technique.
It's like, look, you have so many plastic surgeons in the country, right? And everybody does a boob job, but you have really good ones, and then you have really bad ones.
Yeah,
and it's not the
person's
implant.
a boob guy.
It's not the implant. It's not the patient. It's the plastic surgeon. Did they know what they were doing? Did they use the proper technique? And all that comes
and product
back to,
choice.
their education.
But it's also, a lot of providers don't know how to say no.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at Teresa Giudice.
Well, and that's the thing. More isn't necessarily better.
No,
Less isn't necessarily better. It's placement, it's product choice, it's anatomy of the patient. The patient may need surgery. And there's so many things that go into this. And I have so many patients that I sit down and I say, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm the client. I said, no, you're my patient.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
And if you were to come to see me for an antibiotic and you have the flu, I would be saying the same thing to you. It's not the proper
Right.
She's told me no before.
You've told me no before, too.
Yeah, she's told me no before.
And you guys are
my
gorgeous.
under eye. I was like, do some. I always, for the longest time, felt like I always looked so tired. And
what did I say to
Dad
you?
has like the worst bags under his eyes ever. So like that's my biggest fear. So I had gone to you plenty of times where we tried different things, and I was still like, I still feel so tired. I'm like, can we do anything? You're like,
Yeah.
just do surgery.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you can do. I'm not going to be able to do it here. I don't want to put filler under your eyes when you're not going to get the look that you're looking for. It's just not going to happen.
I think that's also like a good sign of finding a good injector.
Yeah.
Somebody
Agreed.
who really cares about your result and not your pocket, your wallet. You know,
Well,
they're
I
Not
mean-
just about money.
Absolutely. You have to figure too. I mean, your patients are your walking billboards.
They are.
You
They
know?
really, really are. And look, the reason I got into this is because I wanted to make people happy, especially women. There's some men that come to us, but predominantly we're 95% for females, and we age differently.
Yeah.
We age differently, right?
Yeah.
And it's something that you can't change. And I just want for myself and my patients and my friends and my family for us to look in the mirror and feel like we do on the inside. And being able to recognize ourselves. And it just enhances your self-esteem. If it's something that bothers you and if you can do something about it, there's no stigma behind it.
Yeah.
We get our hair done. We get our nails done.
Absolutely.
We do those things to make ourselves feel better.
Yep, agree. I agree. And that's what we say all the time. I mean, we have no shame. Like, it is what it is. We're going to do whatever we can to stay young. I remember you telling
Young looking.
young looking. That's good. I remember you telling me no. I was like, I feel like I look hollow. I need filler in my cheeks. And you were like, Jess, if I put any more filler in your cheeks, you're going to look like Maleficent.
That's right. I remember that.
Okay, fine.
That's right.
And you guys look gorgeous. You look natural and you look perfect the way you are.
right.
So tell us some horror stories of things you've seen, because I'm sure with all of these different med spas popping up and people not being trained to do this work appropriately, that you guys are getting patients coming to you that are like, this is messed up and I need help.
Yeah.
So what happens?
Unnatural looking results, botched faces, and then like things that are not safe, actual problems, vascular occlusions, which not a
I
lot.
deal with a lot.
Yeah,
I deal
public
with
doesn't
that.
really know that. Like, I think, I don't know if the public is really educated that, there is, well, now they are because Instagram has this fear out there. But you really have to know what you're doing, because if you put filler in a vessel, like an artery, you can clog the artery and you can cause tissue death in the face, which is very scary.
It is.
God.
A lot
Is
of
that
people
what
don't
happened to
know
Brandy?
Ooh,
The laser.
Brandy Glanville.
Oh.
She's,
What
think
happened?
they said she has like a parasite or
Yeah, I
something.
think that's something
I don't know
else,
if that
like
was
a flesh
about,
eating or something
Yeah.
else. with the
Something's going on
skin.
there. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
think that's
You should look into
filler.
that.
I'm just saying.
Guys. I mean, all right. I'm going to stop everybody just for a second. I don't want her to sue me, but I'm just going to say this. She had a lot of filler in her face, and now she has a parasite in her face.
That's what I think too. I'm sorry.
doesn't make any
Her
sense.
face was completely
I'm just gonna leave it
overfilled.
there.
It was
I'm
out
not-
of control.
Yeah, you also got to
The
be
math
careful,
doesn't
like,
math.
It
As far as I'm
doesn't. It
concerned.
doesn't. It
not
sounds
what-
like
making
something
sense.
happened.
It
Yeah.
does.
You know, and I always say, look, you're not going to hurt anybody with Botox unless they're allergic, and that means that you have to have an anaphylactic allergy, okay? You'll make somebody look funny. You'll make them angry and upset them, waste their money, but you're not going to hurt somebody
Make them
with
look like
Botox.
they went 10 rounds with Tyson for 2 weeks.
Oh my God, this is why you don't cheat on your injector.
No.
Yes.
No.
This is
But
so,
filler, you can hurt somebody.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and so I would never cheat on you for filler, but Botox. To your point, I'm like, how bad can it be? Oh no.
What happened?
It was a
One
mistake.
time I cheated on Jen
Because I was too far.
because you were far and I was there for GLP-1s, and I was like, let me just have this girl put Botox in my face quickly.
Yeah.
And it was not.
She looked like shit. She looked like shit. She was terrible.
What happened? I remember you texting me.
I think what we determined, you and I, at the time, was that something with her saline mixture
Oh,
was
her reconstitution.
not right. Yes. And I mean, she injected under my eyes, around my eyes, my forehead, everything welted and bruised. I was itchy. It was almost like a allergic
Yeah, that
reaction.
sounds
And
like
then
an
it turned
allergy.
into a huge bruise. And I mean, this is after 10 years of having that product in my face. So I'm like, she definitely did
Something's
something
wrong.
Something's not right
She
here.
FaceTimed me. I remember like picking up and being like, what the fuck happened to you? God. She looks like a goonie. It was not good. like, you got to fix that. That's like a
But
problem.
It actually took me like 3 months, I think, to finally tell you like what happened.
I wouldn't be upset
because I was like,
with you.
because
You're,
I was
like,
like, I'm such an
embarrassed.
asshole. I should have never gone somewhere else.
I know. I feel so bad. Patients do say
It was
that. And I'm
awful.
like, you shouldn't feel bad. That's like you made a human error. It's fine. But like then you learn, you know,
Yes.
like, okay, it's
but this
not.
is why we're here, right? Like this is why I wanted you guys on the show, because there's so many people out there who don't know, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm pretty smart with this stuff after us having been together and talking. I've been in the pharma industry for 20 something years, right? Like I know enough to be dangerous, but at the same time, even I was too stupid and made a mistake. And that was
like
it was not
2
good.
years ago. Not even. It was like recent.
Yeah, it was. It was probably like
Moron.
2 years ago. It was stupid.
Thankfully, it was a temporary thing.
Yes.
It
And it was
fades,
just-
but like filler, sometimes if it was filler, that could be scary.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
turned into something
Then you
scary,
have
it
to
could have
have it
been
dissolved,
longer.
the whole-
God forbid you
Right.
had to dissolve or something else.
Yep.
So
The good thing is you can dissolve. And
Yes.
that's why, and I always say make sure that you ask your provider what they're using.
yes.
The majority of the times you don't know what product is being placed, especially if patients are new and they're coming in. I'm like, okay, where have you had filler in the face? I don't care where you went. Where is it? I don't know. Okay. No big deal. What product did they use? I don't know. And that's a big thing because there's other products out there that are not reversible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're not
Really?
reversible.
Yeah.
There's a few out there.
Which ones?
Sculptra, which
Oh, I
is
see
PLLA.
a lot of people
Is
use
that
it
the
Because
one
it's
that's, like, hard, like,
bio-regenerative and people are trying to get
bone?
away from filler. And it's not the filler, it's the person that's putting the filler in the face. And they can do the same thing with Sculptra. And one thing I have to say, and I'm not hating on Sculptra.
Here she goes.
I'm not hating on it. It's fluid. So I want you to think about this.
Yep.
You have no control over where that fluid is going.
That's a problem.
Correct. When you're using HA filler, you're molding the face, right? You're creating structure, you're restoring fat pad loss, and that's what they're used for.
Right.
We have bony reabsorption, we have deep and superficial fat pad loss, and that's the goal is to create a balanced you that you look like 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not to add a bunch of fluid in the face.
Right.
No, that's just, I feel like going to make you look puffy and
It's
fishy
a
and
marketing
like you drank too
tactic.
much.
Yeah.
It's a marketing tactic. So
Yeah.
I want everyone to understand.
Be careful.
Be careful, understand,
Really
and when you're going into your provider, ask the question. Say, what are you using? Why are you using that? Where are you putting it? What do you
Right.
think is going on with me? Not just, I want some filler in my lips. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Ask
yeah.
the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when Botox was first coming out, like a lot of dentists were doing it. And
Yes.
I thought that was odd. And
Yeah.
when you were explaining before about how like you just have to have a medical license.
just have to
it
have a
doesn't
medical
matter.
license.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's why. That's why
I know
dentists were
basement
doing
Botox.
it.
Yeah.
What's with the basement Botox?
I don't get that either. I don't know.
I don't.
Or
I've never
the
heard of
par- like
The
basement.
Botox parties.
Parties.
Where
Yeah.
you just like
I
bring a
won't do
random
it.
person into your house. No, I
Yeah.
remember we talked about this when you first like opened, and I was like, I feel like it cheapens you.
It does.
Yeah, I used to do it in another practice, but there were a lot of challenges with it, and
Yeah.
in the end, it's not worth it.
No.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning, it was tough, and it's better to be in a medical setting where I can control the situation, because God forbid the patient like feels lightheaded or I have some sort of other thing. I have all my resources that I can reach for. If I'm in a setting that I can't control, like one time I was in someone's living room, and I regret this so much, and I'll be the first to admit, but like the lady was like, I don't feel good, I'm gonna faint. And then all her friends are like, oh my God. And I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
everybody needs to just go to
Yeah.
the living room. I need to control this right now. And like,
Yeah.
God, thank God we got her stable. She was fine, got her orange juice. She just got a little lightheaded. But I just realized in that moment, I'm like, this is why this is not good.
Yeah.
It's a medical procedure.
Yeah.
I think
It is,
I
yeah.
love that people are so open about it now, especially with Botox, but it's still a medical procedure.
Yeah.
And I think that we can't
Yeah.
take that for granted.
No.
Hey babes, are you ready to refresh your wardrobe while supporting a local gem? Mauve Shop Boutique, right here in Point Pleasant Borough, New Jersey, is your one-stop shop for chic, trendy, and oh-so-comfortable women's clothing, accessories, and shoes.
Founded by a fellow mom, Samantha Hernandez, Mauve Shop is more than just a boutique. It's a celebration of women balancing style and everyday life. Whether you're running errands, heading to a PTA meeting, or enjoying a well-deserved night out, Mauve Shop has the perfect outfit waiting for you.
You'll fall in love with their curated collections, Plus, shopping local means you're not just treating yourself, you're supporting a small business owned by a mom who truly gets it.
Visit Mauve Shop Boutique in Point Pleasant Borough or shop online at mauveshop.com. That's MAUVESHOPPE.com. And don't forget to follow them on social media for style tips, updates, and exclusive deals. Use code Sisters Uncensored for 20% off.
Because you deserve to look and feel amazing every day. Mauve Shop Boutique, where your style meets your lifestyle.
So
Not
for
at all.
Botox, let's talk about why and when, because I hear a lot of women my age, I'm 43, right, being like, I need to start doing
We're the same
Botox.
age,
And
that's
I'm like, honey, you need to just start doing Botox 20 years ago.
Yeah, I started it at 30.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
like
I
that
started at
it
30.
really is preventative. And
Yep.
a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, a lot of people come to us.
What are
when
your thoughts?
I think they come to us sometimes when it's, I don't want to say too late, but now we really have to play catch up.
We have to chase the scar, and there's some resurfacing and stuff.
Yeah, so now we have to throw other things at it. It becomes more costly. And then, like, oh my God, it's so much money. It's like, had you started a little earlier, we could have prevented it to getting to this point. And
Right.
it wouldn't have been this expensive.
And I think, too, look, Botox was FDA approved in 2002.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
was gonna say,
30-something
it has been
indications
around
right now.
forever.
Yeah.
Yes, it has 4 cosmetic indications and medical indications. There's like a
Oh, yeah.
slew of
Yeah,
them.
I think there's 30.
14. Yeah, it's huge. But with that, 20 years ago, we weren't doing this.
Right.
Right? We've learned.
Yeah.
It is preventative, medical grade skincare, all of those things.
Yeah, they're huge.
If you don't make the expression as deeply, you're not going to ever make the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes total
So
sense.
that's the idea behind it.
Yep. Yep. It totally makes sense.
I mean, I'm going to give it to my daughter when she's 20 something years old.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, that's how much I believe in
Give it
it.
to
Yeah.
my daughter.
We're going to teach my daughter how to give it to your daughter.
That's a good idea.
I love it.
And then your daughter can also give it to my daughter.
She wants to go to
Botox all
dermatology
around.
school
Does she?
for aesthetics. Yes.
Oh, that's so
Aw,
cute.
I know.
That's
She can come
awesome.
shadow.
Yeah,
I know.
tell her to
You
come.
told me.
Yeah.
I told her. She's
That would be so
very
fun.
excited. I know. Okay, so let's talk about. This was one of my favorite conversations that you and I have ever had about Groupon deals, and all these Groupons that you see out there trying to like get people to come and do cheap Botox, $9, $8 a unit, or whatever it is, and you're like,
So I have 2 things to say about that.
God.
One, it's not Botox. So there's different brands out there. So Botox is a brand, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a neuromodulator. There's Botox, there's Dysport, there's Jeuveau, there's Daxxify, there's Xeomin. There's a few others that are coming to the market. And they're safe, right? They're FDA approved, but they're different.
They're
They
not
are
the same.
different. They react differently. They last a certain amount of time. Botox is the most tried and true neurotoxin out there. It has the most FDA approvals. It's, FDA approved in 100 countries.
Yep.
100 countries.
Yeah, that's
it's been
a
on the
lot.
market for the longest.
So that's a gold standard, and that's why true Botox is more expensive, and it always will be.
Yep.
And you're also paying for the skill of the provider. So if somebody has a Groupon, they're not busy.
No.
They're not busy.
Say,
Right?
not for nothing, but I feel like any kind of injection you're getting in your face or whatever, this is a get what you pay for situation.
Yes.
All right? Like,
Absolutely.
no doubt.
Also, the experience, like she said, maybe they're not experienced or they haven't had a lot of patients, so they're trying to build up. That tells you right there. And also, they may not be spending a lot of time. They probably want to get a lot of people in for volume to make money. That's why
Or
they
they're
discount
doing it
it.
part-time.
Right. And so it's not, maybe it tells me it's not as important to them to spend time with the patient, educate the patient. It's just like, let's get him in. Is that somewhere you want to go where you're just another number?
Yeah.
I want my patients to feel like I'm going to give them all the time I can. And I'm going to sit there. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to go through everything. I don't want to just be like that 5-minute, like, hey, good,
I
done,
have you for
bye.
20 minutes. That's all you get.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's a great experience. But that you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So a $9 appointment, $9 unit appointment might have that. Ours is a little bit more because we spend the time. We are so credentialed and we have education. We've spent a lot of time like in this field.
Really
so.
perfecting it.
And our appointments are a half hour. Our Botox
Oh, yes.
appointments.
At minimum.
I know.
Yeah, at
I
least.
know.
Even
Yeah.
for an established patient, which Where I was before, they were 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. I couldn't talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I want to sit down and talk to you. How are you feeling? Is everything that we're doing working? Do you want to
Right.
talk about anything else?
Yeah.
It's not just a money thing. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, this is my business and this is what I do. And, like, it's how I make my living. But it's so much more to us.
Yeah.
And I think that's reflected in what we do.
Huge. You have to build a relationship with your patient. I have a relationship with all my patients, and that's so special to me. Like, I want them to feel like they can talk to me about anything. I don't want them to be intimidated by me or just be like, oh, here she goes, she's just charging me, or
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
like,
she's trying to
I
sell
want
me
them
about
to
something
feel
like that.
all special.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say this too. Establishing that relationship builds a lot of trust.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the things we were going to talk about was how people research who they go to and who would be, I guess, good for them to go to. As far as I'm concerned, like, I will do no research anymore. I literally just ask you, and whatever you say, your word is gold.
Yeah,
that's
agreed.
it.
Aw, you're so
literally,
cute.
that's
I love you.
because
I
there's
feel the
trust.
same way.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's not going to send me to somebody who's, you know, going to do a botch job under my eyes.
I
You know
would
what I
never.
mean? So,
Yeah.
exactly.
And if you can't do something or it's beyond like aesthetics at this point and it requires a surgeon of
Yep.
some sort,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you definitely,
We'll say it.
yeah,
yeah, I know.
not
I'll
afraid.
always
Said
tell
it to
you.
me.
I think
I
it
was
builds
like, all
more
right.
trust.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
It
because a lot
definitely
of
does.
patients, you know, sometimes, like, one time I had this patient who was like angry with me. She was like, "What? Do something for my eyes." And I was just like, "It's surgery that you need. I'm sorry. There's really nothing I can do." And she's like, "Really? You won't do it? You won't do it?" And I was like, "I know you're angry, but I'm doing this because I want the best for you. And if I do it, you're actually going to get more angry with me because I'm not going to be
It's
able
not
to
gonna-
fix it, and you're
yeah,
going to spend
do what
money
you
for no
wanted
reason."
to do.
In the end, you know, she ended up coming back. Now she sees me for so many other things. She loves me. We have a great relationship, but I think that was important for her to see, like, I wasn't after the money. I was after, like, her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good outcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of, let's be honest, there's plenty of injectors who do not give a shit.
Yeah.
They
There's
will-
so many injectors now.
Sad.
You can
There's
tell
so
which
many.
ones too, just based off of their patience.
So I had a friend,
Teresa.
I shared this with you guys, I think, but she went to a med spa recently and got a BBL and Moxie. And she had I think she had a treatment previously or several treatments previously for her face. And now she was looking to go like lower chest, arms, all those things because you really can like clear up all your sun damage and everything everywhere.
We have that machine. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
We've done it with you.
Yeah, we've
Yep.
done it with you. So, long story short, when she started the body work, I don't know what they did, but she ended up with like burns, like second degree
Second-degree
burns
burns.
all over her body. It has ruined her summer. Like, she has vacations coming up, cruises. She has to be in a full rash guard. She cannot be exposed to the sun at all.
sucks.
And this is all, in my opinion, because of an uneducated provider who did something wrong because
Yeah.
that should not happen.
No.
Yeah.
I think it goes to, like, one size does not fit all. Like, when we get trained on a certain treatment, we have to understand that the treatment in this area, and it's just like, for example, lasers. The way you do a laser on the face the settings are totally different from body parts.
Yep.
Because some body parts are more sensitive and can get burned more.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if the person administering just put the same settings they did on the face to the neck or chest, not good. They should know, oh my God, I have to adjust for the neck or the chest. And same thing with injectors too. Like, there are different parts. We have to adjust, like, okay, here I have to treat this way. Here I have to treat that way.
Right.
And so, yeah, speaks to the experience of the person administering the treatment. Were they just saying, using my settings for all skin, all over the body, not good.
Yeah.
They should have kind of
Yeah,
known
no,
that
that's
you
a
need
problem.
to change it.
And that makes sense too, just because like even just different skin tones, right?
Yeah.
You have people who are
Types.
fair, darker,
Yeah.
right? Like
Well, I mean, think about something as simple as the skin on your lips is different than the skin on your kneecap. You know what I
100%.
mean? So
100%.
that's more my perspective of it. I mean, if there's that much of a difference just from here to here, there's definitely differences from here to here. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I don't
and
know.
that's just the thing too, Ashley. Like, are we going to blame the laser?
no.
Or are
No.
we going to blame the person that
Yep.
Right.
has it in their hand?
Yeah.
Listen,
Yep.
I'm a golfer, all right? And I
And a
can
gun
tell you
owner.
right now,
We say the same thing about guns.
it's not the club that's the problem if something gets fucked up, okay? I'm County. If it's a bad shot, it's probably my fault, not the club's fault.
Right.
The same thing goes with guns. Like you said, it's not the gun, it's the
Yeah. I mean,
Shooter.
person shooting it. Yeah.
it's true.
It's a shooter.
Just saying.
So talk to us more about your partnership now with Allergan and
Yeah.
Face Aesthetic Institute and how you're really starting to help your community of providers prevent a lot of these horror stories that are happening and how it's going to make things better for us as patients.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
We are 1 out of 8 in the country, and we have an affiliation with Allergan for the Face Aesthetic Institute. So the Face Aesthetic Institute, Christina and I, train providers, so anywhere between an RN to an MD, on how to inject. So we have some foundation classes for neuromodulator, advanced, and the same for for dermal filler.
Okay.
So intro and advanced. And we were picked out of, gosh,
A lot of training
centers.
They're
and a
very
lot of
selective on
providers.
who they pick,
I
who
would
they
imagine
support
so.
and collaborate, and we feel really lucky. But it was our passion since day one. And what stands out about us is we made our classes very immersive, long, and hands-on. We want every student that comes in and takes our classes, they get to put their hands on a lot of different patients, males, females, different types of females, different types of anatomies, which you don't really see when you take a course. You know, it's great, like we said, to invest in your education, but also now you have to be selective what class you're taking. Is it coming from a reputable place, right?
Yeah.
Or is it another place that just wants to make money and
Community
say, this
college,
is
or
how...
is it
They're not, you know,
it makes a big
Right,
difference.
and they
Allergan
market
is
them so differently.
Yeah.
They market them
Exactly.
as, you know, learn how to be a master injector with Botox
In
and filler
4
in 4
hours.
hours. It's not reality.
That's
And this is
not.
what we put out to our providers.
That
And it's
happens.
out there.
That's what they put out to like the general public.
It's
I feel
real.
like
Yeah.
that's why I was asking earlier. Like, can anybody just open these med spas?
They can. They can. So in New Jersey, if you're an RN, an NP, or a PA, you need to have a collaborative physician. So we have a collaborative physician. I own the practice, but you can.
Yeah.
And they
That's crazy.
think that they're going to make money. And a lot of them are
Oh, yeah.
VC backed, they're private equity backed. And they're like, we're just going to open up 15. And they don't.
It's a sweatshop.
They don't understand
essentially.
the medical
Yeah.
component to getting a provider up and ready, and that's why this is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
literally a
It's like
sweatshop.
turning.
Yeah.
How many people can I get in here as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
Turning.
Crank them out.
We're having a lot of providers come into our field because they see us and they think it's very glamorous. And although we have so many perks to our job, we love our job and it's great, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
can
I think
imagine.
it's actually more work. We have had to catch up on our education and resources because this is not something we learned in school. You know, when you go to nursing school, PA school, medical school, you have studies in cardiology, gastroenterology, all these fields. There's not 1 hour that's spent on aesthetic
On
medicine.
facial anatomy,
Nothing.
unless you're a
Really?
facial plastic
Yeah, I was
surgeon,
gonna say, unless
you're a
or
plastic
like a
surgeon.
maxillary surgeon, something like that.
Yeah.
You don't know every
No.
muscle
Oral
vessel of the
surgery.
Or like
face.
reconstructive.
No.
Yeah.
So it's really up to you. If you're going to open a med spa, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Did you take the proper education? And like I said, you have to pick even where you're going. You can't just take a 4-hour class or watch a YouTube video and think you're ready to see a slew of patients in your community. And then what happens, right? So that was our passion, our cause, why we did it. And yeah, we're really excited.
We're so
It's
excited.
been amazing. We already have success stories, like people entering aesthetic medicine from the hospital. You know, maybe I don't want to do my specialty anymore. I want to open up a med spa, coming to see us, taking classes, and now opening up their med spa, and we feel confident in them.
Yeah,
They
that's
feel
the biggest
confident,
thing,
and
and
we're
we
like,
would tell them.
yes.
Yeah.
We would honestly say,
yes. And I think also,
I believe
was
that
gonna
too.
say,
Yeah, I believe that.
100%.
and the outcomes are getting better, which is great. Like, I don't know if you see this, Jen, but people that I've trained, now they're posting their before and afters, and I'm like, wow, that's a great
Yeah,
before
she
and
got it.
after. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, what I taught her, like, hit. She's
It's
doing
stuck,
it. And I'm
yes.
like, I
Oh,
just
that's
replicated
great.
great things, not
Yes.
only for my patients, now her patients
That's
too.
And it's so
Great.
funny too, because do you get this for some people that ask, like, why are you training your competition? And we don't look at it like
No,
that.
I-
Yeah.
Like, it's
I
not
don't either.
competition.
No.
We have our patients, and
Yep.
it's like if they win, we win, we all
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not about that.
This is
No.
the joy of being a female leader. Just
Yeah.
Totally
in
agree.
general, I
Yeah.
think is like that gratification that you get from seeing them be successful and
100%.
knowing that your like morals and ethics are being then passed on
It's
to other
everything.
people.
It's
That's why you
everything.
do it.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things that, to me, like as far as what you guys are doing, it's like a network thing. Like think about when we need our makeup done for an event and we call our go-to and she's like, I can't do it. Call this one. Like she's really good. She'll be able to do it. But like if you needed something right away, you know what I mean? And you guys were booked, couldn't get it in or something like that. It's like I would trust whoever you would send me to, just like I would trust whoever my makeup girl or my hair girl or whatever would send me to. So I mean that I don't know.
I think you're doing amazing things. And I think that is
That's what you're
so
making.
exciting.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to not have to drive to Westfield anymore because I've followed Jen for 10 plus years all around New Jersey. And so, you know, living in Sussex County is hard. So having you in Morristown I'm so excited.
How
to
far
have
is it for you now?
appointments. Morristown's like 30, 40 minutes. Yeah, it's not bad. Where like driving to Westfield for me is like an hour, hour 15. So
I'd drive
it's nice.
to the fucking moon for you.
I
At least I know it's being done right and it's gonna do what I want. Like otherwise, no. I don't
That's
care.
another thing. When we hear people say that, I'm like, I'm doing something right because people are like coming far to see me, so it's worth it.
And that's why we do it.
Yeah.
Truly, it's
You guys are the best.
You are. You are the best. So anything else you want to tell people about how they can make appointments, the new location, if they have an interest in being trained as an RN and PPA, MD, and learning more directly from you guys through the Allergan program, how can they sign up for all of this stuff, and what's the best way?
They can visit our website, the Face Aesthetic Institute.
And Face Aesthetic Artistry. So if you're a patient and you want to come and see us, and if you just want to chat, we do consultations all the time. There's another nurse practitioner that works with us. Her name is Steph, and myself. We're doing free consultations all the time. So if you want to come, I just love to just chat with my patients and educate them in general. So if anyone wants to come and learn, please. And then at the Face Aesthetic Institute, we have our website, we have our Instagram. Check us out if you are an injector or a provider that wants to come into our field and take accredited courses with us.
Not the community college version.
No.
Harvard.
Allergan.
University.
Allergan, I know,
Yes.
it's
It's
crazy.
my dream job, being a pharma girl. If I could, like,
You would be
if I could
so
leave
good.
my
telling
job
you,
and
open
go work
house.
for any company, it would be for Allergan.
They're the best.
Just because I love their products. They have the best ethics from what
They
I
do.
hear from people that are out. I've never carried a bag. I just managed to not in my career. I would downgrade and go into sales just to work for
I
them
have to
because
say,
I
they-
love their stuff.
And their company, from the educational component, do you know $100 from each Botox vial that's sold goes into AMI, which is the Allergan Medical Institute,
The
to
education
train
portion.
their providers and train us on
That's
how
great.
to educate other providers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No other company does
No.
that. So when people say, "Oh, it's more expensive," it's so expensive for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the caviar out there, and it's the gold standard. They put their money where their mouth is and their resources in education.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough about that. Like, I know if I need help, they're always there to support me as a provider, and that's all I've ever wanted and needed, and so that's why I believe in them. And
Yeah.
It's Bernays.
And those
I
are
got
the
it.
things, you know, I feel like we have so many different perspectives on these couches right now, from as practitioners, as patients, as someone who's worked in marketing and pharma and L&D in pharma for so long, to hear those things, right? That's what creates this level of safety, right? And the best thing for the consumer in all sincerity, because the consumer is getting an educated practitioner from a company like Allergan who truly cares about their patients, and they, to your point, are putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
And that allows us to trust you guys because you trust them.
Yeah.
And it really creates that true relationship
Yeah.
between the consumer and the pharma company. I think that's so important.
And I think what's also really good about Allergan is they listen to us so well.
They do.
When we say, "Hey,
Tell them to give me a job.
I will.
when we
You
advocate,
have a job. You have 2 jobs.
They get good deals at their company store too. I've had a friend who works there.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You do
Skin
get the
Medica
perks.
stuff.
You do get the perks.
I do love Skin Medica.
Yeah.
You do get the perks.
It's the best.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
they've been great. They definitely like when we advocate for our patients, they listen. We
Yeah.
say this needs to be changed or this needs to be better. The next day they're working on it.
That's
which
awesome.
That's
is-
great.
Well, they
Yeah.
rely on us too,
Yeah.
and they respect our opinion because they know we're out in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't just take what we say and they're like, ugh, whatever, she's
No,
annoying.
they take it
Yeah.
seriously.
They really
You're
You're on the
one
front
of
line.
8. I mean, it's a true partnership. That
It
you have
is.
with them.
It is. We're so excited.
Yeah.
We have our first class with them on
June
June
16th.
16th.
And if you're an injector out there and you want to come check us out, we're doing an open house on Thursday, May 29th.
I love that. We're going to put that all up on our Instagram so that you guys have all that information. And for our friends and patients, please go see the girls at Face.
They're the best.
They are the best.
They are the
They
best.
do the best work. We love them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we love you guys.
We're due for appointments ourselves. We were supposed to be with you last week, but things got crazy. So.
I
We
mean,
look haggard now. Just
no, you do not.
Someone looks directly at me.
Please.
Thank you guys for having
Yeah,
us.
I'm
We were
so
so
glad we
excited
did
to do
this.
this.
Yes, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. We hope you guys learned something today. And yeah, definitely please
And reach out for any questions you guys have.
check out
We're
Jen
here.
and Christina on social media. Follow Face Aesthetic Artistry. And yeah, anything else you want to add?
It's the Fritz Bernays. Is what
Yes,
you're
I
looking at.
love that.
They're
It's the
Fritz
best.
Bernays.
It's true. It's true.
Just so you know. Look them up.
I love that.
All right. Bye.
Bye.